Dude, shut the hell
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's episode 220 of the Dadbod Golf Pod. Happy Monday. It's Kyle, Ben, and Nate. We're ready to break down this Tour Championship finale.
Oh, really?
And
Atlanta vibes.
Talk about a little East Lake. Me and Nate were really pissed Ben off at one point today because we were talking about how we played different holes, and Ben was like, "Would y'all just STFU because I didn't get to play the course." So
yeah, you guys had no problem talking about Shoal Creek without me, so you guys can both.
But you have played Shoal Creek.
Yeah, well, we'll talk. We'll get there. We'll get there.
You played Shoal Creek
with no help from your ass.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Bet Online, the #1 sports betting website in the country. If you would have picked Rory beforehand, I think he had incredibly plus odds. Like if you would have picked Rory to start with, you could have really won some money with Bet Online. And if you used your coupon code when you initially deposited BLEAV, the coupon code, you could have stacked 50% on top of whatever you deposited and really, really made some cash. They got golf lines, baseball lines.
They got football lines. Kyle, what was I sent y'all?
It's football season.
It's plus 10,000 that Saban doesn't make it through the season or something.
It's who knows?
It was unbelievable.
It's crazy line. I tell you what, I really went hard. I really thought the Rainbows catching 9.5 points on the island versus Vandy was a good line, and they got absolutely hammered. Vandy scored 63 points.
Hey, and the SEC is 1-0.
The SEC is 1-0. Suck on that, Rainbows. But anyway, yeah, sign up today. Have a ton of fun. Have fun this football season. Bet Online. It's where the game starts.
I can only imagine somebody just logs on and starts listening right there, and all they get is suck on that, Rainbows.
No, I mean, I'm like Rainbows catching 9.5 on the island. You kidding me? Pound it, slap it, let's go
on the island.
And then they came out and scored on their first drive, and I was like, I'm a gosh dang genius. And then it was 63-10.
They're basically up 16.5 right now.
Yeah, I didn't do the research and found out that I did some research and found out 75% of Hawaii's starting lineup are like transferred out last year. So they were like a whole brand new team. It was awful. Anyway, we're talking about football. We're here to talk about the Tour Championship this weekend. Congrats to Rory. It was electric golf. I felt like going down the hill. Well, I say electric. It was like watching Scotty reel for 18 holes and then watch Rory sort of kind of get the lead, lose the lead, get the lead, and then is Sung Jae going to make a charge? Like it was fun. It was really good. It's good to have a tight finish like that. So, I was talking to y'all about this, and the more and more that I think about the Tour Championship, I don't understand why it's not a bigger deal. I don't get it. I mean, this is the culmination of a season where you got a person who's trying to become essentially the best golfer of the year against the best golfers in the world. And it's not like you get hot on a weekend and win, a major. I told y'all, like anybody can get hot. Any of these guys can get hot, but who can sustain it for a whole year? Scotty came out hot and then sort of wilted after the Masters, after, he won one more after that, I believe, and then just sort of wilted. I just don't get it. Why is it not a big deal? Why do we just like not really care that much about the Tour Championship? Why is it not on the same level as the Players, as majors? Like, why? I don't get it.
I'll speak to that first, Ben, if you don't mind.
You go right ahead, Bob.
So I think the FedEx Cup started in 2007, right?
Yes.
And before that, the Tour Championship was a bit of a like a Pro Bowl, right? Yeah. Top 30 guys get there. It's vanilla. I went in 2005 or 2006. That's the first term I ever went to. Super chill. These guys, I mean, it's just like a little pat on the back from the tour. No right. Cut, guaranteed money. And all of a sudden in 2007, they're like, hey, 10 million. And here's this crazy ass format. And then 3 years later, they're like, oh, that format sucked. Here's another one. And then 2.5 years later, they're like, oh, shit, we had a Tour Championship winner and a FedEx Cup winner. Let's do this. Oh, hey, guess what? We have another stupid-ass idea. Let's do a staggered start. That's why nobody gives a flying rat's ass about the Tour, the FedEx Cup, because first of all, it's young. It has no tradition.
Yeah.
And, it's not that much different than the Live Tour. It's like, hey, let's just take this tournament and let's just see if we can make it a big deal by adding a significant amount of money. I remember they had a commercial back when it first came out, and Zach Johnson's like, yeah, this is what, like, people are going to look back and be like, how many FedEx Cup championships do you have? No, they're not. Absolutely 100% they're not.
I agree. I agree, but they should.
And they just, I mean, maybe 10 years, 15 years from now, they will. I think Rory winning today helped give it.
You there?
Uh-oh. Am I the one freezing? Okay.
Nope, it's Kyle.
I don't know. Anyway, just repeat that.
I was just saying it's 14 years old. We've gone from, we've had a bunch of bad ones. We had Vijay Singh, all he had to do was show up and he was going to be the winner. We had this awkward 2 different guys getting interviewed because one guy won the Tour Championship and, one guy won for the FedEx Cup.
I actually didn't mind that one. I kind of like that.
I think Phil won the Tour Championship and somebody else won the FedEx Cup. I don't remember what year that was, but the staggered start, I get that, and we'll get more to that later. Like, at least that you're going to have the guy win, he wins.
Right.
Still a broken system. We still haven't figured out how to do a good championship.
Go ahead, Ben.
With it being an individual sport, I liked when they had the Tour Championship winner and the FedEx Cup winner, Nate. I didn't have an issue with that. I think they should do that and still give, if all of a sudden they're feeling freaky to give all this money away, then why not go back to that? Where if somebody like a Scotty Scheffler who has hung out there at that number 1 spot all year long, I mean, yeah, he's still going home with a boatload of cash, but it would be nice if he got recognized with some sort of trophy like the Tour Championship going into, like, today should have been like, or this weekend should have been like the stuff on top of the season. Does that make sense? Like, it should, like, you got your season winner, your season long winner, and then you go into the playoffs. I'm like you. I don't know the answer to this whole staggered thing because it clearly is not very fair, but you said it before we came on, having Sahith Theegala start out with Scotty Scheffler tied at even par to start, that's not fair either. So I don't know, I thought about it. Do you mix up the formats? Nate's always talking about how match play is such a cool thing for us. I think it is. Why don't you not give the top 10 golfers buys on days 1 and 2 and let those other guys match it out, and then everybody gets, and then, like,
or 2 rounds of stroke play.
I've got a super cool, kind of weird, super cool format.
All right,
before we get to that,
before we get to that. So but Kyle, I'm with you. I think it should be a bigger deal because Nate is right. He's got 3 FedEx Cup championships. And if you just ask the average golfer at a local muni 6 weeks from now, how many FedEx Cup championships does Rory have? Well, I know he just won that last one. I'm not real sure. Like, they're probably not going to know.
Or let me ask
you what
this.
Years? I don't know.
Would you rather win the US Open, or would you rather win 3 FedEx Cups?
If it's money, it's 3 FedEx Cups.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, that's the only thing that adds true relevance to it. I feel like
Rory didn't win a major this year.
No,
and he won the FedEx.
It hasn't in a long time.
So would you have rather been the US Open winner this year or the FedEx Cup winner?
I think that you'd said it best when you said that they keep putting an emphasis on major winners. I think that that's hurt their argument as far as a FedEx Cup winner, because you just making that argument where they're talking about, the Open winner going to another league, or they're talking about Scotty Scheffler winning at the first of the year. And now next year, yeah, it'll get mentioned in the broadcast, last year's FedEx Cup winner, Rory McIlroy, but it ain't like it's last year's US Open winner, Rory.
Isn't that a problem? Don't you think that's a problem?
Can you not theoretically never win on tour until you win the Tour Championship and win? You can.
You could.
Because Scott Stallings has not won this year. And he was pretty far at the bottom of it would have been really improbable for him to have won this week.
But he jumped 34 slots to get into this week.
Absolutely, he did.
Right.
Kyle, you're right. It's a big deal. I don't know the answer of why it's not being treated as a big deal, because I'm telling you, this at 6 months from now, when they're in the middle of the season, they're not going to be talking about the FedEx Cup winner, but they'll still be talking about the job that Cam Smith did in the Open Championship, and they're still going to be talking about Scheffler and the Masters 6 months from this. But Rory's just won $18 million. And we'll get reminded of it at FedEx Cup championship time next year. Last year's winner was Rory McIlroy, who makes the charge this year, but that's it.
Before we get to Nate's format, which I'm anxious to hear, like, is this not like if you're granted PGA Tour commissioner like tomorrow, is this not like the most low hanging fruit that you could go
And like make just absolutely an outrageous event like that people get fired up for? I mean, it's almost like let's just throw money at it and whatever.
And everybody will like it.
And everybody will like it.
Yeah. If
like,
we give $18 million to the winner, everybody will like it.
Think about this. This is like, this is essentially the Super Bowl. This is essentially the World Series, and like nobody cares about it. And
this is Final Four weekend. This is like a Final Four weekend.
At one of the most, at a historic venue, and it's the same venue every year, just like Augusta. It's crazy how. Go ahead.
Here's the problem with comparing it, and I want to compare it to the Super Bowl, to the World Series, to the NBA Finals, to the March Madness. But in golf, we do it differently. Like when NFL season, you have your rivalry games, right? And like in college football, we have Auburn, Alabama. That's a big deal. But we don't have like games that like carry more meaning than other games, right? Like you get into the playoffs based on your record, just based on your record. How many teams you beat, how many teams you lost to. And in golf, we have these majors, and then we have these tournaments that nobody gives a rat's ass about. And we've got them all throughout the season, and they're supposed to shake out. Like, what if you won the Punta Canas, the John Deere, and, throw in the Barbasol? Those are your 3 wins, okay? You won them all 3 with no of the top 10 players present. But then you got another guy who won the Players and the Memorials. He's won 2 tournaments. Another guy's won 3 tournaments. They have these different values. So it's hard to compare it to a NFL, NBA, because it's so odd.
I agree with you, but like the majors are not PGA Tour. This is the PGA Tour Super Bowl,
but they count for PGA Tour points. So they do. They counts for FedEx Cup points.
They do, but they're like, this is the culmination. This is supposed to be like the culmination, like the champion of the PGA Tour. I mean, it's a tour championship. You're the champion of the PGA Tour for the year. Which I don't know. It seems like to me, and I really do, the more I think about it, this format, it seems like it's a very low hanging fruit. There's not a whole lot of intensity. Like the guys that starting 10 shots back, like, who cares? They're like, I'm just here to get it. If I shoot 12 under, 13 under for the weekend, I might get my way up into like $1 million. Like Max Homa did. Max.
You think Scott Stallings had much to play for? I mean, he looked like he didn't have much to play for.
Right.
I mean, especially after day one. Like if you shoot 2 under on day one, you'd have been 15 shots back after 1 round.
Exactly. So
it's deflating.
There's a lot
to
be
just
said.
Unnatural. It's unnatural.
It is. It's very.
And you mentioned a good point too, Nate, when you talk about the different, like the point system. And I'm not saying that this is part of the problem, but I've had a buddy that brought that up to me. It's like, why can't all the points for all the wins be the same amount? Like if you compare it to another sport, like you don't get extra points for a divisional win in baseball. Like, so that's
or if you beat the team with the best record in football, your record remains the same.
Because we were talking about like world golf events, they get like double points, which that's fine, whatever. But some of those guys may not be able to play in those world golf events, but they're playing in the other events. So that also, I don't know.
And in football, we do that. In college football, we talk about strength of schedule. We talk about quality wins. College football is actually very similar to this. We have not figured out the NFL and the NBA, like it's there. It's just
exactly.
I mean, no one complains about it. But in the NFL, the team with you get the playoff team, and you got the guy with the worst record, and it's always the NFC West, my Cowboys, right? You can finish below 500, make the playoffs. Okay. They still have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Nobody's going to get pissed if they do win the Super Bowl, even though on paper they have the worst record.
Right.
They have a worse record than guys who didn't even make the playoffs. So
also that's attainable though. Like you're talking about, the Cowboys could make the playoffs and luck their way into a Super Bowl and win it.
Absolutely.
Sahith Theegala had zero chance of winning that golf tournament this weekend.
And does he
Right.
deserve more of a chance considering he was in the top 30? But and y'all let me know when I'm ready, when y'all are ready for my.
Yeah,
my,
I think that I'm the more and more I think about it, the format really, because it needs to be intense. Like everybody even if it's a long shot, like we keep talking about Sahith Theegala, like if he would have shot 20 like if he would have shot like 18, 19 under for the weekend, he still loses. He still
Yeah.
loses. And that's like 5, 6 under a round almost. I mean, if you do the it's or not quite that much, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like you're going deep every single, and there's just no chance.
Oh, it's 5 under a round. I mean, to get to that 20, it's 5
Yeah,
under a round. I mean, that's a
exactly.
hell of a tournament.
Unbelievable. And you lose.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think format is low hanging fruit, and Nate says he's got the deadlock how you can make this thing better, and I'm dying to hear it.
Yeah, I
So
am too.
Nate, hit it up. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to have our 30 guys, and we're going to show up to Eastlake. Okay. And coming into Eastlake, nothing else changes throughout the season. The first 2 playoff events, everything else remains the same. You got your top 6 guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on FedEx Cup playoffs. They sit Thursday and Friday. They have a bye. And they've earned something for being in those top 6, right? They've earned something. The other 24 players, dog's getting in trouble. The other 24 players play 36 holes, and the top 6 guys from that also advance. So you got 12 guys total, and there's almost guaranteed to be a playoff. So you got drama already on Friday afternoon, and you have no worry about time because you only got 24 guys playing. You can finish early enough in the day. You can do all those playoffs. So you've already got drama. Saturday, you go from 12 to 6 in the morning. So everybody, you rank them. You got everybody. So the number 1 guy plays the number 12 guy, just like in every other sport. We go from 12 guys to 6 guys. We play again in the afternoon, 36, USAM. Come on, constant golf all day Saturday. We go down to 3. 3 dudes tee it up, even par on Sunday morning. And we have like a built-in playoff. We have like a 3-man US Open 18-hole playoff, winner take all. Not just 2 guys, 3 guys. We can mesh those numbers. We can do 8, we can do 4 and 4, and we can do 8. But I say 36 Saturday. Let's add a bit of survival to this, and then 3 guys on Sunday. You're gonna those 12 dudes who play each other in match play on Saturday. It's gonna be your Rorys. I should have done it. I should have gone through and made that formula. Look through the 36 holes, and I'll do it.
You're gonna have your surprises like your son JM's, who just played out of this world, that would have worked his way into possibly the top 3 on Sunday.
So what if you get Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, and Scotty Scheffler on Sunday? I mean, it's just possible, or it doesn't matter. Take 3 names from there.
I mean, we had Scotty and Rory starting off at 0 today. You know what I mean? And almost, because Scotty bogeyed the first 3 holes, like, or 3 over in like no time. So it was like basically those 2 duking in your scenario. It was like those 2, and that was it, fighting for the championship for 18 holes. And it was awesome.
And you have some guys who are going to have to play 36 holes and then turn around and play 36 more on Saturday. The other guys will have already rested. So they're getting an advantage. There's some disadvantage to having to come from the field. But all those guys, those 24 guys, they start off even. So everybody who gets there should have, within reason, except for those 6 who advance, those other 24 guys should start on equal footing. I mean, they should all have the same opportunity to play their asses off for 36 holes and move on. But then we finish with 3 dudes stroke play. How cool is that?
Initially, my initial argument would be I'd rather see more than 3. I'd like to see 2 groups of 3, 6 total on day number 2.
Yeah, I'm just thinking just one group. You can do a foursome.
Or you can do a foursome.
You should do 4.
Yeah.
You can swap those numbers around however you want to. You can do 5 and then 7 guys get in.
But like you said, I like the theory behind what you're saying, because those other guys get their rest on Thursday and Friday, and so they've earned
something.
They've earned
in every other sport. They've earned their bye.
And so they've got a leg up for the other, no matter how hot another golfer is going into Saturday, he still has already played 36 holes and he's about to play 36 in one day if he survives. So, and so you've given that. That's the thing is I think that's why they're doing what they're doing now, where they're starting them at 10 under and 9 under and 8 under, whatever, because they're trying to give the guys that have earned it a break. Well, that's the thing. Let them sit. That's their break.
Yeah.
Let them sit and change the format, because Nate's right. You got all damn day Friday.
And to get those 6 guys, you're going to have some excellent drama on Friday afternoon.
And golf is, as far as watching it, guys like us are going to sit down and watch it. Like, we're going to follow it. You know, they keep wanting to think, well, we got to make it for everybody. It's not for everybody. Not everybody cares about it. I'm sorry, but it's not. I mean, it's a niche sport. And so, you know, hit the people that love your sport and love to play it and love to follow it and love to do stuff like we're doing right now. I promise you, we will be there in front of the television watching something like that format.
I like it. I would say there's so many different ways that you could tweak that, but basically the play in to the playoff, and then you have a finale, whether it be match play, stroke play. I really, really like that. So Sunday, there's either only two, 3, 4, whatever, that many golfers, and it's 0 and it's 18 holes, fight to the death.
Yes. And there's a good chance that you have a playoff on top of that, you know? And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a playoff like fiend.
Yeah.
Like I don't care who it is. Like, I was so pissed when M didn't make par, because I was like, okay, playoff chance. And then when Scheffler effed up 18 today, like, I just want free golf.
I know. I want to see. Yeah. When's the last time there was a playoff at the Tour Championship? Has there ever even been?
It was a few years ago. Rory holed out to win one of his FedEx Cups against Keegan Bradley, I think. Maybe the last one time he won, 2017.
Interesting.
So, yeah, hold up. But hey, do you remember that? No, because it's irrelevant.
No, I don't.
No.
And I'm sad that
I only saw that in the broadcast this weekend. Only reason I knew it. Only reason. Also, I played that hole, made bogey.
I mean, for the most part, the thing that they've been leaning on the last few years is the last time Tiger, they kept showing that graphic of him walking in the fairway.
And the rainouts.
And that's like huge.
Love the rainouts for that.
Yeah. that they showed that, but that's when you're talking about, it's like, okay, this has been going for 14 years and you guys are using the same footage. Like, hey, even then it was that whacked out thing was like, okay, if Tiger wins, then like Justin Rose has to like finish like,
Justin Rose didn't have, if he would have parred the whole
5th, 6th or whatever, he made a bogey and then Tiger won both, or which was the greatest thing that could have happened. But I just, we're taking on the advantage of all kinds of drama. We get some match play, but it's not all match play. I don't like 2 guys on Sunday as match play. I thought about that, but I think that's just too one-dimensional. You get 3 dudes, there can be some freaking carnage, you know?
I mean, in one hole, like, think about, you get to 15, like,
yes,
not match play. Like, you got to get it in the hole. Like, 15 could be a 3-shot swing. Like, right
now you're not just playing on what one guy does. Now you're trying to figure out what 2 dudes are doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We never had that in golf, and maybe for a good reason. I don't know.
The thing is, if you're going to if you want to be different and you want to beat this live tour or whatever, if you want to be better, like, this is incredibly low hanging fruit. This is incredible. Like, this is like a possible powder keg that could be something so incredibly great. Think about the last weekend before real football starts. Like, it's the last chance, like the last hurrah of golf. And I feel like it's just like a bottle rocket. Like, it's just complete waste, absolute complete waste on an unbelievable track.
Because am I wrong? Because I was young. I mean, pre-FedEx Cup, the Tour Championship was straight vanilla.
No,
right? It was the Pro Bowl.
Like, they tried to play fast. You know what I mean? Like, to get done. Like, let's go break a record on how fast I can play if I'm in last.
Yeah, Davis loved the third, which, granted, there was a single every round because of Zalatoris this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Davis loved the third was playing by himself, and he couldn't have been more like,
get me out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't want,
like, member, not even member guest, dude. It's like freaking member.
I will say, I think that, one thing that would help too, because Kyle, you brought up a point where you were like, just the pomp and circumstance isn't there. I mean, with majors, and they still did a live from, but it wasn't wall to wall coverage like it is at the Augusta or, the Open Championship or US Open. Had that Ryder Cup / President's Cup mentality. Like, I know the players don't want to do it, but come Monday, you don't have but 30 of them there, 29 this time around. Have one of those things where they're introduced and they've got to talk to the crowd and they've got people invited up and you make a whole week of it or something. I mean, I don't know if that, I know that sounds cheesy, but the thing is they act like this is not important. And it is important because it's basically the golfer that was the best golfer of the entire year.
Yeah.
Winning $18 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And there were some great storylines. Rory's a great storyline. Scheffler, if he had won, was going to make the most money out of anybody who had ever played the tour in 1 year. I mean, he still had to have come. Actually, I guess him and Rory probably made pretty much the same this year because he clips him by $12 million.
You go back to the majors.
11.5.
You go back to the majors, and and I know that's got to do with TV rights because like ESPN had it, but when you have the feature groups you can watch online and that kind of thing. I told you guys, I texted today, I was like, I haven't seen Cam Smith hit one shot. That guy's been one of the hottest golfers out there. And I don't even know what he shot.
I
don't either. And that's the thing. And I know they wanted to focus on the final guys, but they could do this like a major and have the featured groups or
finish 20th.
Nate mentioned it best right there. 15, have a standard camera on 15 that is just, you could watch 15 constantly online or something. Like, they just don't do a good job of making it seem like a big deal.
I think part of that, and maybe it's actually harder when there's only 30 dudes, is that like when we watch the British Open, we turn on at 4 a.m. and we're watching Cam and Rory. And then we turn it on at 9 a.m. and we're watching, Tiger and JT. And then we turn it on at 11 a.m. Everybody's on the golf course at the same time with 30 dudes. So, I mean, I don't know. I get what you're saying. You've got different, you can watch
just some different options. I mean,
and stuff. I don't want to sit there and.
We were talking about, like, a buddy of mine and I were talking about, like, YouTube TV. Now that football season started, they have created the 4-window thing, kind of like the NFL, like, package that you can watch.
Sunday ticket, yeah.
Yeah, Sunday ticket or whatever. Well, the same, and if you got YouTube TV, you can, like, watch football that way. 4 games going on at one time. Same thing with this. Like, it doesn't have to start at 9 a.m., but it wouldn't hurt to have like a chant, like, make it seem like a big deal. Perception's reality. And if you make it look like a big deal and like, hey, check this out, guys, you can go to this channel and you can watch all 4 things. You can watch like the leaders, feature group, 15.
I want to watch 14 and
shots,
15. Like 14 and 15 is straight diabolical.
Yeah.
Like that is that's sick golf holes. Like disgusting.
I mean, like Kyle said it
dirty,
best. They're just
filthy golf holes.
If Monahan, if it holds true that they're saying that he's dead man walking, next commissioner that's coming in, this is your baby right here. To hell with the money, to hell with live.
Easy low-hanging fruit.
A big deal for everybody every golfer to want to tune in and watch.
Exactly.
And y'all are y'all right? Like Ben on Sunday night of a major week is watching live from the British Open. Like, have live from East Lake, and I love the British Open. I love the Ryder Cup, President's Cup thing. Like on Wednesday evening, have like this big like hoorah! I don't know, like introduce everybody, like go through their accomplishments for the year. I don't just you have so much opportunity. You've only got 30 guys. Use that to your advantage. Like no other time on tour do you have 30 dudes. And there's just so much.
And you got the
30 stars. Yeah.
And you got the
30
assets.
of the freaking primos.
You got the assets to do it too, because you got FedEx is one of your money backers. And this time around, with it being in Atlanta, Coca-Cola. Like, don't tell me that you can't set up stages everywhere and do some special thing that's going. Trust, those people friggin' live off of marketing.
Bring those guys to a Braves game.
Yes.
March those 30 dudes out at SunTrust Park and just, I'm going there.
No,
I'm going there for wieners and beer, buddy.
Braves were in St. Louis this weekend. Couldn't work. Sorry.
Okay, well, you know what? You think somebody at Coca-Cola or East Lake or FedEx can't make a phone call to the Braves dumbasses who don't care?
They don't care.
No, it's.
I bet you Scott Stallings would have gone to a game.
Yes, he would have.
Totally. So low-hanging fruit. Such a cool event. It could be so much better. But
put them in an aquarium with sharks.
Yes.
Georgia Aquarium.
Yes.
Last place guy swims with a shark, 2 minutes.
Hell, they even do that
Live
with
or die.
they even do that with the Tournament of Champions out there in Hawaii. They're like, I visit Hawaii because of this. They should be doing that in Atlanta. We visit Atlanta because we go to the aquarium and swim with the
And they
sharks.
need
And we
like
go to the
one golf
varsity.
guy.
Oh wait, they're closed.
Is it Jon Rahm, who's like the guy who lives in Hawaii,
Yes.
who always tells everybody he's from Hawaii? They
Yes.
need an Atlanta guy
Yes.
who's always talking about Atlanta. He's talking about MARTA and the varsity and all that.
So I rode the MARTA to get here.
Yeah, exactly. Like you need that guy. Let me tell you something else you need, and that is literally anything off of the website at swannies.co.
No, MARTA
Use
stands for.
coupon code Dadbod Golf Pod -25. Take 25% off literally every order. The subscription box time's running out. It comes out September 10th. You got to get that order in. You get your seasonal pieces and $150 value for $80. You get to take 25% off of it. It comes out to like $65. You can't beat it. Check them out today. Literally anything you could ever imagine for golf, they got it. Swannies.co. It's where fashion starts. Where do we go next, gentlemen, from here?
I'm not sure. You weren't watching us on the camera, were you?
I know I looked away because I knew something was going on.
I'm glad. I'm glad you looked away.
All right. So
Nate almost got us all fired. No, you just put it that way.
oh boy. So there was a Jon Rahm was doing
Yes.
an interview after, I don't know, maybe the second round, his second round. And basically they were asking him,
I think it was Saturday. I think it was third round. I think it was his third round.
You're right. Third round. They were basically asking him how he was going to manage the schedule and still be able to qualify the new required schedule and still be able to qualify for the Ryder Cup team, because the way you got to qualify for the Ryder Cup team is you have to play in at least 4 DP World Tour / European Tour events in that year that it is going to be the President's Cup. I'm sorry, the Ryder Cup to qualify. Yeah. So the PGA Tour's dropped this new thing where their top guys, the top golfers or whatever you call it, you're if that top 20, you're required to play 20 events a year.
Mm-hmm.
You got the 4 majors, you have what's it called, the TPC Sawgrass, you got the players, and then you have those new 12 elevated, quote unquote elevated events, and then so he would have to play all those. Then he would have to go play his 4 European Tour
and your WGC events that you have to play in just because you get a shit ton of points whenever you play in them.
Exactly. So basically he said himself, he's like, I've played 17 events this year. He's like, I don't see how it's possible that I can fit anymore. But basically when they said that, he goes, wait a minute, we're going to be required to, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, you're going to have to play in 20 events. How are you going to be able to fit those other 4 in? He's like, wait a minute. Like,
I'm not.
There's no way. He's like, I would not be surprised if I would not be surprised if that changes soon. There's no way. I played 17 events already this year. I don't see how it's going to make it really hard for the European Tour guys. You know, then he was like, maybe me and Rory could have an exception, but he's like, but then I guess if you give us an exception, you got to give it. He's like, I think you'll see that change. And then the guy's like, wait a minute, are you trying to give us a hint? Are you trying to tell us something that we're not supposed to like? You're trying to tell us something right now? He was like, no, I'm the last person to come to ask. He's like, if you really want information, there's 2 players. You know,
I think you know which 2 you need to talk to.
I think you know which 2 you need to talk to. Which obviously he's talking about Rory and Tiger. There's so many things to unpack there, but
okay, my first thing, I'll start. My first thing with that is we forget, when he said that, we forget that this year the PGA Tour said they were going to be partnering with the DP World Tour. So maybe those 4 tournaments he plays in the DP World Tour count towards his 20.
Okay.
Like that may, so he may be out of the woods on that. However, the thing that got me, because I didn't realize this, because I thought Jon Rahm was playing in just about every tournament except for quote unquote the one that Nate always references, the Punta Cana, and I don't think he played in that one. But I didn't realize he only played in 17 events, and that's counting 4 majors and these 4 playoff events. That's 8. So he only played in just a few other events outside of that.
Yeah,
the Memorial, of course, just because that became famous last year with COVID, and this year, you know, he came back, and then the tournament after the Memorial.
You ever won the Memorial?
No.
Sorry.
So that's what stood out in my mind was he was like, well, I'm already playing at 17 and like I'm spread thin. So it was almost like when they came up with this number of 20 to me and you and Nate, we're sitting there thinking, well, that's not bad. That's 20 weekends out of 52. That's not bad at all. But then when you think about it from a golfer standpoint, I feel like he's played in a minimum 20, and then he says he only played in 17.
Yeah.
So it's like
maybe
20 is a high number.
I wonder if did they run this by anybody?
I don't think so, because you get
They did not run it by Jon Rahm.
You got the
they did not.
I mean, you got the 4 majors, you got the like you talked about, you got the Players, you got the Memorial, then you got the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and then you've got the 4 WGC events. That's 11 tournaments right there.
Yeah.
Like
That's crazy.
What do I do with my hand?
Yeah. So you're
I care
take
less.
20.
I care less.
less about the numbers, like in this conversation. Like the numbers are crazy, but like I care less about the numbers and the fact that Jon Rahm had no idea anything about this new format.
Was he not invited to the meeting?
Top 5 player in the world. They're guy they have to.
No, I don't
lean
think
on.
that wasn't that meeting. These are different. This is not the Tiger and
That's what Jay Monahan said came out of that meeting.
I think
So
Jay Monahan had his own
somebody's
meeting
lying.
because those players don't make any rules. They can text Jay and be like, "Hey, more money for Pip," and then Jay's probably okay. Well, y'all got to play more events. Nobody came in the players meeting like, "We need to play more events."
That's true. I mean, I'm sure
I don't know what meeting was who.
Rory
where.
was pumping it up though, like that. This is a great thing. So he's like the spokesperson for it. I don't know. It just.
I'm like Kyle, though. I think that this quote unquote meeting that took place, I don't think anybody knows what's coming about from it, because for him to be a top 5 player in the world and for that to be a shocking revelation for him
That he heard from a reporter.
that he live
Live.
at that time, like it's not like it leaked to him and he got it.
And
He was put on the spot and he's like, say what now? 20
And
events.
where does
What are you
Tiger
talking about?
come into this? Because if Tiger was like, "Listen, if my body
he's
wasn't made
gonna
of
be the
glass,
new
I could
commissioner.
play 20 events."
He's going to be the new commissioner.
Hey, you know who probably suggested the play more events thing? Sung JM. You know who's not bothered by playing 20 events or 24 or 52? Sung JM.
52. Sung
If
JM.
they're like, "Hey, Sung JM, you are required to play 49 weeks next year." He's like, "That's it?
Oh, that's it.
What am I going to do with those 14 days?
So
Where am I
actually
going to stay?
get a few weeks off. I actually have to hang out with my family.
Get some downtime. Might even
In
head
our-
on over
in
to
our-
North Korea.
in our-
Shits and gigs. I never
He's
come
not
back.
from there.
Yes, he is.
He's from South Korea.
He's from
Okay.
South Korea.
Not,
Cool. Well,
not many people go back.
They don't like each other. I'm just telling you.
look, maybe he's going to go to North Korea to improve relations. You know,
Okay.
if I was a South Korean prime minister, I would be like, "Hey, Sung JM, new
We
ambassador
tried
to
Dennis
North
Rodman.
Korea."
It didn't work. So we're
Yeah.
going to go Sung Jae this time.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No.
Sung JM fist pumped, and like South Korea was like, "Ooh."
So
No.
ultimately, ultimately my point is that was the big PGA Tour counterpunch. Okay. 20 events, elevated events, more money, blah, 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 blah. Everybody's fired up, this, that, and the other. And the first, like, we got guys that don't even know what's going on. We got guys like not just randos, Jon freaking Rahm, like top 5 in the world. The guy you're depending on to carry the PGA Tour, one of the guys you're depending on, he not only did he not know about it, he's not on board. Clearly, he's not on board.
Yeah.
So that's a
You
problem.
think I just don't know what I'm going to do it. I don't know where I can fit anymore in.
I mean, I'm looking. Hey, Jon Rahm may join the Live Tour. Just
Yeah, I mean,
here
I
first.
will say, like, what happens when they had these great ideas that are between Rory, Tiger, and
Ricky Fowler,
and Ricky Fowler,
Driving the Armada.
who got his tour card by the hair on his ass.
that
Yes, he did.
it's between all of them and Jay
6
Monahan.
defections.
They're not, it sounds like, talking to anybody. They come out with these rules, and the Rahms and the Cantlays and the Schefflers and the Shoffleys of the world go, "How the hell with that? I'm not doing that."
So who runs the show?
Like, what happens then?
Because Monahan's not at the meeting. So do Tiger and Ricky and JT and Rory be like, okay, let's do this. And let's text Monahan this list of stuff. And Monahan's like, oh, I'll run it by the board. And they're like, oh, they cleared it all. Here's a release. Like, who the hell is running the show?
That's a
Because
great
Monahan
question.
wasn't at the meeting.
He wasn't.
And then
Well,
Monahan announces all
apparently-
the changes.
Apparently, a top 5 Jon Rahm wasn't at the meeting either.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Jon Rahm hasn't been to any meeting at all. Jon Rahm didn't even log on to Instagram and read the list.
No, he's played 17 events this year. Like
Yeah,
he's,
he is
his boat is full.
He's got
He is busy.
a newborn 17 events, and he's trying to qualify for the Ryder Cup. He's got shit to do. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
He's
Absolutely.
like, that's why I hate it when they kick me out of the tournament because like I try and do a bang for buck, boys. You know,
It would have been hilarious if he would have looked like to his left and looked at his agent and said, "Where were you on that, Bob?
yeah.
Like, why?
Can
Why
I get an
am
email?
not-"
Let me get a text.
they did not
message.
have that posted in the locker room. You know, put
Why
it
have I
above the
not heard
urinal.
about this.
I'm going to be interested to see how that plays out because Jon Rahm said, I think, be on the lookout. That could change. Well,
And then
this
he's
was-
like, talk to the two guys. I am really starting to be curious as to where does Tiger fall after this is
Yeah.
all said and done? Because he's not teeing it up anymore.
It's not just Tiger. It's
but he has
Tiger.
no
It's
real
Tiger and
position
Rory.
of power.
Because let me tell you something. Rory is still an outsider because he's still a Ryder Cup and a President's Cup player for the other team.
he's not a President's Cup player.
Nope, that's
But-
true.
He won't be a
I
Some
get
President's
what
Cup
JM
player.
is though.
I get what you're saying.
Yes, he is. Because you know
No.
what? He needs to be playing because it's
In the
we got to be playing golf.
President's Cup commercial, it says for team and country and the world. Like what? I love the concept of the President's Cup. I love that us as Americans are like, hey, we'll play the Euros one year and then the rest of you suckers can tee it up against us for kicks.
You know what I love the concept of? Cellular Transport Technology. That's what I love, that concept of. And that you get that with Liquid IV. Log in today, go to liquidiv.com. They sort of have a subscription thing too. Like you can make a purchase and it'll get coming every month. Like you don't even have to worry about it. And you get to
we got to
take-
work on that, dude.
Yeah. You take 25% off. Use coupon code Dadbod Golf Pod. You get 25% off and free shipping. Tons of flavors, tons of different things. They got one that helps you go to sleep. They got one that helps you get rehydrated. They got all kind of stuff. They got immune boosting stuff. I don't even know what's in it, but it just boosts that immune. Like you eat raw meat right after that, you don't even get
Boost
sick.
that immune.
It boosts that immune.
Boost that immune system. Liquid IV, where Cellular Transport Technology starts.
Put it on the box.
All right,
Boost
we're gonna
your
put a
immune.
ribbon on this and,
Okay.
and say happy Monday. Y'all have a great week. But the last one quick more thing on the ticker all weekend, college football, whatever. When it got to the golf, 3 names it said that said are official basically, which and 2 of them were one of them was a big surprise. Cam Smith, not a surprise, Live Tour. Harold Varner III.
Shock me.
We may have to have a whole show about this because we all got in a fight. But Harold HV3 is expected to join, which we thought he was. Then supposedly Jordan shut him down. And he was on the ESPN ticker.
And
as he's
and
gone.
150 million decided to pull him back in.
Okay, and here's another guy that no one's ever going to care about joining the Live Tour, but it is significant. Cameron Tringali, extremely outspoken about his faith as a believer, as a Christian. So it's going to be really hard to you're going to either have to call him a hypocrite or you're going to have to drop this whole, human rights morality thing, because quite possibly the most moral guy on tour just went to the Live Tour.
The other one that sticks out in my mind, Joaquin Neiman,
Also a big,
who was in on that player meeting with Rory and Tiger.
Yep, he was the 3rd on the ticker. Joaquin Neiman, which we kind of hinted that was going to happen. We got some inside info from
what's
down
his
in
President's Cup
Florida.
status? What's Cam Smith's President's Cup status? What's Mark Leishman's President's Cup status?
Well, that's
You know?
next
It's-
week, isn't it?
it
So
should be
those
good.
names may not be dropped until they may
until
not.
they hit a shot. They're still good until they hit a shot on the Live Tour, which the next Live Tour event I think is next weekend. I think it's
So
coming up.
who
He's in
runs
Boston.
the International President's Cup team? Like who's in charge there?
I don't know. It used like Greg Norman was pretty big on that at one point
Yeah.
in time. I don't even know who the captain is this time. So it's crazy.
Trevor Immelman, I think. Pretty sure it's
Yeah, it's Trevor.
I think you're
Immelman.
right. I think you're
For
right.
like the
I think
seventh
you're right.
straight year. Yeah.
So the next few weeks are going to be interesting. You got Live Tour coming up. You got people defecting, going to the Live Tour for this next event, probably. President's
Go to
Cup's right
President's
around the
Cup.
corner.
Yep.
So much stuff. And then you got this weird off season, like what's going to happen. It's going to be mostly Live Tour stuff, but like maybe they'll throw some crazy PGA stuff in there in the middle to combat it. We'll just have to see how it all plays out. Y'all, thanks for joining us. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you have a great week. Hope this gets you started. We'll be back Wednesday. We got some baller scenarios. Nate and
Yes.
Ben, you're going to like these. We've already been kind of putting them together, working on them. So
Love it.
y'all have a great week. Episode 220 brought to you by Bet Online. It's the Dadbod Golf Pod.
Always. Go, Ben. Go, Braves.